is just not that far removed from 4-9. And that is a psychological thing, especially this fan base seems to be overly sensitive about a lot of things. And even last week it was like, well, we beat Wisconsin, but, well, if we lose to McNeese, we'll know Wisconsin was a joke. No, Wisconsin was not a joke. All the Badger players after the game were talking about, BYU was fast and strong on defense. It wasn't that that they did a trickery play and beat us on a Hail Mary. This was a beatdown on their home field, and that was not a joke no matter what happens. Henceforth, in the history of time, we always have last Saturday.
Wisconsin's a good team. Cal, I can say confidently, they're not a good team.
Assignment errors against Cal. The good news is assignment errors are fixable.
Yeah.
If you get manhandled, you can't fix that. Well, they haven't been manhandled this year. Wisconsin is going to manhandle a lot of other teams this year. They're going to be a very good football team.
We'll see how they do against Iowa on Saturday night as the Badgers get to Big Ten play. That is our show for this week. For Blaine, David, Brian, and all of us at BYU TV, I'm Dave McCann. BYU Football with Kalani Sitake is next. I still think he's jumping around. He's been jumping around for 3 days. We will see you Saturday for the Cougars and Cowboys, and, of course, next Tuesday for more AFR right here on your home of the Cougars, BYU TV. It's on to the coach and his coach's show.
Coming up, the Cougars pick up a big win in Wisconsin to get back in the top 25. Kalani's here to break it down, along with A.J. Stewart and Sione Taki Taki. So get fired up as BYU Football with Kalani Satake starts now.
BYU Football with Kalani Sitake, presented by Intermountain Healthcare. And now, your host, the voice of the Cougars, Greg Wrubell.
Good evening, Cougar Nation. Welcome inside Studio C at BYU TV. We've got a packed house after one of the biggest wins in BYU football history, and we invite you to join the conversation tonight by submitting questions for tonight's guests on Twitter using hashtag Sitake Show. You can do the same on the BYU TV Sports Facebook and Instagram accounts. Well, he picked up his 15th win as the head coach of the Cougars over the weekend in Wisconsin. Please welcome the head coach of the Cougs, Kalani Sitake.
Wow, thanks for coming.
Yeah, we had a standing O going on.
I came straight from practice again.
I know. So I told you, come right off the field.
I was really late because I looked at the watch and I was like, oh my goodness, I had to run out here. And this is the outfit that I had, so always repping, camo hat, and just a little makeup.
So by your applause, votes on the camo hat tonight?
Like
Yeah. Well, you've been a part of many big wins as a player and a coach over many years, but Saturday's victory was among the biggest and best this program has really ever had. Top 10 team on the road. The phrase statement game maybe gets overused a little bit, but if there was a statement made, what do you think you guys said this past weekend?
Oh, I think our guys played really well, and I don't know if there's any statements to be made. I think we just we did what we thought we could, and we believed in it, and it felt really good that we had fans that believed in us that were there as well, and we know we had a lot of fans that believed in us when we left, and so it was nice to. I said at the end of the game that I was really happy for our fans and for this moment, and so it was really cool, you know, just see our guys get. I mean, the difference a year could make, you know, from that game and the competition and how it was such a physical game last year, and the work that the guys put in, and you know, they were prepared, and then there was a lot of fun, and like I said, I just had the best seat in the house, you know. It was a lot of fun, and it really enjoyed it.
How long did it take to answer the 420 texts?
Oh, a long time. Yeah, it's up to, about the game specifically, it's like 450 something now. It's like in the 50s, and stop texting already. We're moving on. It's too late if you haven't texted me by now. I felt like when I said that at the press conference, you know, another 30 is like, hey, just wanted to let you know. And
Don't forget about me.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I was wondering where you were at.
Yeah, right.
No, but it was cool. It's just the, it just shows how much a lot of people are just really interested in that game and interested in what we're doing as a program. I thought it was an entertaining game, you know, but the crazy thing is we go in coach mode and there's so many things that we could have done better. I know we did a lot of things really good, but like, man, we should have done so much better. And let's get it fixed and do it this weekend. So, you know, I'm glad we got the win, and our guys worked really hard for it. And but it doesn't really mean anything if we don't keep it rolling. So we put it away, and unfortunately we have to go through it in the show. You know, have to bring it back up. But the players have moved on. We're focused on McNeese, and we really respect them, and just want to get this win this weekend.
Well, let's take a look at some of the good things BYU did this past Saturday. You can kind of take us through this, as we know what the ending's going to be. We know it's going to be awesome. So
yeah, well, this was hard. I mean, this was a tough drive. We gave them a couple of chances on third downs, but you know, established the run game, spread it out a little bit, and Squally hit it up the middle, well blocked, and you know, just he's banged up a little bit, but you see the guys get out, James Empey and Tristan get out there and make some blocks. Receivers are blocking downfield, Talon trying to hustle downfield, so good play. And Squally punches it in a few plays later, and you know, we tied up 7-7. Felt good about the matchup, even in the first quarter, and going in the second quarter, felt comfortable with what we were doing offensively and defensively. We felt like we could hang with them on the line of scrimmage, which gave us a lot of confidence. A good touch pass to Talon Shumway. And then we, you know, the Bucky play that it didn't look always that great in practice, but but we have a saying that if we practice it, we're going to call it, and you know, it worked well. And I think it's because Coach Grimes did a great job setting it up with his play calls. Defensively here, we force I think it's intentional grounding here. Yeah, it would have been nice if Sione would have caught that. But, you know, being picky, we got a good stop, and then this was a great play by a true freshman, and would like to see him make that play. But, you know, this would have put us in position to go up 21-7, and just got to squeeze the ball, you know. So we end up kicking a field goal. Skyler really wanted the shot and had plenty of strength, but couldn't get it right, and told him afterwards he'll get another shot. Really bad here, 3rd and 19, and they get 18 yards. They convert on the 4th and 1, and we really didn't help ourselves on this drive. Could have really helped ourselves. I've talked about the mistakes that we made. One is not converting on any points on that one drive, and then not stopping them here when we had them on 3rd and long. And so really unfortunate, but felt good about being tied up at halftime, and felt confident coming out. And you know, when we set this up, and Zane actually slipped up, and he was beat on this route a couple times, and so he knew when he slipped where to go, and he guessed right. You know, he's got a lot of speed, and he understands the game, and so I'm glad that he was able to come up with this pick, and we were able to convert it into some points.
Yeah, it was a turnover turned into a touchdown. First time all year that Wisconsin had seen a giveaway turn into points for the other team.
Yeah, and great pass to Leva. He's shifty, making plays, running the ball and fly sweeps, throwing it and catching it. And so sets up a nice run by Squally here. A great block by the O-line and tight ends. And punctures through, and we're up 21-14. And you know, we're feeling good about ourselves and trying to get some stops here. This is a great play by the running back. They changed up their run scheme a little bit, went away from the power game and started running it in the gun formation, which only gave us a little bit more confidence knowing that they're not going to their bread and butter. And so they ran outside again in the heavy set, score, tied it up at 21, and Squally hits it up a gut again. And
second big run of the day for him. He had a 44 and the 46.
Yeah, and it would have been nice if he could score next time. We'll see. But really good setup and great block by the freshman down, Holker coming across, and really set up well by the jet sweep and the misdirection. And then Skyler with Gavin doing a great job with the hold. And Skyler had confidence in the hold and kicked it through. And this drive was frustrating at some point. You know, this is the final drive of the game, and just wanted to find a way to come up with some big plays to end it. But now knowing how it ended, I was happy with it. But it would have been good if Sonny would make that play. We missed a lot of sacks. We had pressure on the quarterback, just couldn't come down with it. And thought our guys were getting gassed up. It was really hot in this game, and really, we had our coverage and man coverage there. And
so you call your first. You've got all 3 timeouts left. You call the first. You don't look terribly happy right there.
No, I'm just saying get our fresh guys and our tallest guys, meaning Devin and anyone above 6'6" in there to block. And
then timeout number 2.
Yeah, and we have it, might as well use it. And then I'm telling him, just breathe.
Just breathe. And now you're thinking he might call number 3 here. Who knows?
Yeah, and I didn't.
See, it's all part of the head game. There you go.
I don't know if it was heady. I mean, it worked. So
might have been for him. Yeah. So he misses wide left, and he had made 13 kicks in a row before that miss.
Yeah.
He was due.
Well, my legs are really tired because the end of the third quarter jump around, I got really spent from the jump with the team. So I got to celebrate with Fessy at the end and all the other coaches and the players. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, that's just the way we thought it was going to be.
Just the way you drew it up. Let's take a look at our game stats now, presented by Nissan Intelligent Mobility. Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway, and the final score is the number that matters most. And even though Wisconsin outgains BYU on the day, the fact that BYU, Kalani, put up almost 200 rush yards and almost 7 yards carry, those are numbers that are good in any game. But against this kind of team, it was well done.
Yeah, it was a physical game, and I know we're looking at the stats and the numbers, and we know we left a lot of plays and points out on at Cat Randall. So. There's a lot of room for improvement. This is after beating a really good team, so I feel really confident in our team, and our guys know it. They watch film on the plane ride back. Everyone's watching film on the iPad and looking at things plays they could have made. And so, I'm lucky to have these guys, as players, and always want to get better and see that they probably should have performed a little bit better in that game. But it was super hot, and I felt really good about our conditioning and good about the physical part of the game. We battled on line of scrimmage, and it was going to be a tough game, and our guys answered the call, and I was really proud of them.
It was quite the fight. I have 2 lasting impressions out of you from Saturday. One was pregame, just how confident you were and how confident you felt, and then postgame was just how much celebrating you guys got to do from when the game ended till late at night. And even in the game, here we are between 3rd and 4th quarter, we're jumping around with the Wisconsin fans. You guys are having a good time along with them.
Yeah, it's football. We talked about, I felt like the first 2 games we really weren't as loose as we should be, and part of us showing gratitude to the people that helped our players get to where they're at is to show them that we're having a good time and loving what we do. And so I thought it was important to just, show a lot of sportsmanship and class in the way we play the game, but also, enjoy each other's company and smile and laugh, and that's part of the deal. Yeah, that was awesome just to see all the fans, and that was such a cool experience, And I remember being there when we beat Gonzaga. I was over there hanging out, trying to see Coach Rose and the boys, trying to recruit more basketball players. No, but it was a cool experience, and just being able to share that with the fans and with everybody, it's really cool. So appreciate you guys being here, and looking forward to more memories.
We're going to throw a few numbers up on the screen that are kind of keynotes from Saturday's win, and as people can see and assess what these numbers all meant, whether it's beating a top 10 team or the different streaks that were ended against Wisconsin. What do you hope this win means for this team this season? It's just one game, but what do you hope it means for you?
I just hope it confirms the confidence that we felt going into the game. We all knew that we got stronger and bigger. I mean, even I gained weight for the game compared to last year. So we all got bigger and stronger, and felt like we had done a lot of hard work in the off season. And in fall camp, we did things differently than we normally would have, and any other team has done. And so I think it just kind of validates what we did and confirms that we're on the right path. I think these guys felt comfortable playing with Arizona and with Cal, but we played Wisconsin last year, so they knew that was a physical battle, and they beat us pretty badly, you know, and the score was one thing, but it was the physical part of the game, which we think we should be better at, and we're going to hang a hat on. And so we really wanted to work on getting that better. And what a difference a year makes, and how kids that are dedicated and really want to win and go through some adversity together, you see what can happen. And I think the players deserve all the credit. They worked extremely hard at it, and just really proud of them. It was really cool to see, you know. And yeah, you guys saw the game. You saw how tough these guys were, and it was just really nice. So imagine if we can keep this rolling and how much more we can improve, because we have a lot of young guys on this team too. We saw a lot of freshmen playing in the game. I mean, our 4 freshman corners all played, and they covered really good receivers, and they gloved them up pretty well. And then you saw a lot of freshmen and young underclassmen on the D-line play, and on the O-line, you know, and the receivers, Dax Milne and Gunnar Romney were playing, and the tight end. So there's a lot of young guys, and they're starting to feel confident, and they're getting stronger, and they're starting to develop more. So I'm getting really excited.
Yeah, I can tell.
about everything, and I'm getting excited about how much improvement they can make in a week from the Cal week to now. And we just had 2 really good practices this week. So just whatever it is, let's just keep it rolling. And if it's a dangerous thing to say that we just need to have more fun and kind of let loose a little bit, but that's what the team needed. You know, I think there was just so much pressure on them before, and now it's like it was easy to say, hey, just have fun and let loose, and we're going to dance and have a good time. And then I just think it just allowed them to enjoy the game. They all played this game because they loved it at one point in their life, and they worked really hard, and just need to remind them what all the hard work was for. It's to jump around and dance and see their coach dance a little bit, you know, and it was a lot of fun.
BYU jumps into the top 25 as a result. It's your first win over a ranked team at BYU as the head coach. It's your first ranking at BYU. So what does being back in the AP top 25 poll mean to you and hopefully for this team?
Well, I mean, I care about the ranking at the end, right? So we have goals as a football program, as a team, and it just means that we're trending the right way, you know, and we're excited about it, but you don't just rest on those accomplishments alone, right? We're 2-1, and we're really sick that we're not 3-0. But the only way you can get better is to get to 3-1. So that's what we're going to work on right now. We don't really care about who we play next. This is all that matters, is playing McNeese and giving them all of our attention. And after this show, putting Wisconsin away and never talking about it until after the season.
Yeah. We'll talk about who BYU plays next. For your day-to-day Cougar sports play-by-play, watch BYU Sports Nation with Spencer Linton and Jerem Jordan weekdays at noon Eastern on BYU TV and BYU Radio. When we come back, from Madison to McNeese, Kalani Sitake and the Cougars looking ahead to Saturday as BYU football with Kalani Sitake continues.
Call it a path, or a way through. It can be arrow straight, or have twists and turns. It's life's financial journey, and Mountain America Credit Union is here to guide you every step of the way. With timely advice and affordable products, this is your journey. Let's begin together. We're Mountain America, guiding you forward.
Want to see the good? Then tune in to BYU TV. Tonight at 8 Mountain, journey along with Todd Hansen, finding fantastic stories from unique individuals. Then, if you missed it this past Sunday, the new season kickoff of Relative Race is back again. Don't miss all new contestants, puzzles, and relatives tomorrow at 6 Mountain. Watch your favorite BYU TV shows here and catch up anytime on BYUtv.org or the BYU TV app.
I think it was like a week ago I showed up to call a game, and one of my buddies on the crew with me looking at the mountains in the background, and he's like, Spence, we're living the life, man. And for whatever reason, it hit me, and I was like, we are living the dream. Who gets to do this? How many people get to come to the ballpark, talk about a baseball game, be around these teams and these players? And I thought to myself, it was worth going through all of the hard times. Totally worth it, and I love it. Thank you for making me look good.
Blue runs deep on BYU TV. Don't miss the BYU UVU women's soccer game. Friday at 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain. Watch all of your favorite BYU teams on BYU TV, your home for Cougar sports.
Bro, I ain't got no chill.
BYU TV Sports Postgame. BYU versus McNeese State. Saturday after the game.
BYU Football with Kalani Sitake is brought to you by Intermountain Healthcare, healing for life, and by Nissan, innovation that excites.
Satake, Saturday is the first day of fall. Saturday is. And late in that day, late in the afternoon, the BYU Cougars will play their first football of the fall with McNeese in town. A lot of folks say McNeese State. They like you to call them just McNeese. They're 3-0, and they're in the FCS top 10 after getting to 3-0 this past week.
Yeah, really good team. You know, they're going to contend for the playoffs in their division, and a lot of athleticism and speed on their team. And you know, they beat Nicholls State, who beat Kansas earlier in the year, and so these guys are going to come in here, and I know they have upset on their minds now that we're ranked. I'm sure they're excited about the game, and so I believe they're going to try to do what we did to Wisconsin, and so we got to make sure that doesn't show up.
Their quarterback is in the FCS top 10 currently in both passing efficiency and completion percentage. He's got good weapons, and whether it's Coach Tuiaki, who, you know, has coached against him down in Southern Utah recently, you know what that's about, and then even Coach Grimes at LSU, having scheduled McNeese at the time. They had a game that ended, but due to weather, I think, at that time. But they all know the kind of athletes that they'll draw down there. A lot of guys that maybe didn't get to LSU, but do have a spot there at McNeese, and good talent.
Of course, and we have a lot of coaches that are familiar with McNeese, and you mentioned Grimes. I coached against them when I was at Southern Utah with A-Rod, and Coach Tuiaki is familiar. So is Coach Lamb and Coach Guilford. So we have a lot of guys that know about this program, and we have a lot of mature players that understand the threat of them coming here. And you know, the goal is we didn't play very well last home game, and so we need to change that. And all of our attention's on this. Nobody's patting each other on the back right now. You should have seen practice. There's a lot of hard work and big hits, and that's what's going to be this weekend. You know, we need to practice that way, and a lot of new bodies. I mean, I mentioned it in the press conference that we're trying to get guys that practice. If you don't practice, it's going to be hard to play you in the game. And we have a lot of bodies that we think can play in this game, and let guys heal up. But we'll see what happens. But we feel confident in our players in the scheme. Speaking
of guys who either didn't play in the game or maybe got hurt in the game, what's the word, if you have anything, on either Butch or Diane right now?
So we're still working with Butch and Diane as they, you know, Butch practiced a little bit today, and Diane didn't. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. They'll need to practice tomorrow in order to play, and I'll probably have more. Too bad the show's today and not tomorrow. But their health is what matters the most. And if you ask them, they're going to play. But we have to make sure to save them from themselves, even, you know. And then my job is to protect them and always have what's best for them in my mind first. That's the first priority. So we'll go with that. And you know, Diane didn't get to play a lot of the game. He got hurt early on, and we'll just see how he progresses with his health.
Coach Grimes had to adjust on the fly with no starting fullback either, as Braden couldn't go, and still you guys were able to manufacture a lot of yards in the run game, threw some Dallin Holker in the backfield, and you may do. Is Braden coming along as well?
Yeah, same thing with Braden, and as we look at, you know, probably going to see Darius McFarland in the backfield. He's backup fullback, and we used Dallin Holker quite a bit in that role, but we have a lot of tight ends that could play that position too. So I think we'll be okay. It was just the goal is to get Braden on the field, but like I said with Diane and with Butch, it matters that if it's the right timing, that's what matters the most.
All right, we've got Q&A for the coach coming up next. Folks, you can watch the #1 BYU women's volleyball team host Pacific this Thursday, 9 Eastern on BYU TV. BYU undefeated and ranked #1 nationally. Great stuff. All right, as we head to break, we want you to know that you can enjoy a full hot breakfast buffet, dinner Monday through Wednesday, and a kitchen, a large grassy backyard along the Provo River Trail, all at the Residence Inn Marriott in Provo. Coming up next, the coach takes your questions in studio and from social media. This is BYU Football with Kalani Sitake.
You're watching Super Tuesday on BYU TV, presented by Siegfried & Jensen.
BYU Food to Go's convenient location at 2191 North Canyon Road in Provo makes bringing popular BYU foods to your next event easy. Everything's ready when you need it at the drive and load pickup. You drive in and they load no matter the weather. And stop in the on-site creamery for great BYU chocolate milk and ice cream. BYU Food to Go, bringing campus to your table. Call for details, 801-422-5001.
Blue runs deep on BYU TV. Don't miss the BYU Pacific Women's Volleyball game. Thursday at 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain. Watch all of your favorite BYU teams on BYU TV, your home for Cougar sports.
On the season finale of The Story Trek, I'm back in the Gem State.
I can't even explain how hard this year and a half has been.
3 years ago, I met a remarkable woman battling a potentially fatal disease.
I lose my hands for a minute.
And because Ashley had the courage to share her story. Perfect! Good job. Plus, a potato points me to longtime friends who refuse to act their age.
As long as you're able to move and keep moving, then life will treat you well.
Watch The Story Trek tonight at 8 Mountain on BYU TV.
Life as a foundling isn't easy. With oppressive taskmasters and unforgiving rules, you'd think life would be pretty bleak. Unless you have someone like Hetty around.
Hetty Feather, Sundays at 6 Mountain on BYU TV.
On Planet Splatterlot today, we follow an indigenous species through the course as she lives her young life. The pain of struggle, of the times of hardness, of falling upon her, of hurting her feet on the things, and then popping up to joy and glory in the end of times.
Watch Splatterlot on BYU TV.
Let's get you up to speed on our Cougars in the NFL. Kyle Van Noy with an INT over the weekend, but Pats lost that rematch of the AFC title game with the Jags. Fred Warner, more double-digit tackles for him as a middle linebacker with the Niners. And why did you never think of using Taysom Hill as a kickoff returner?
Dang it.
They've got him a kick return, and he almost broke one. Well, he did break before. He almost took it to the house.
What can't he do?
I know.
You know what I mean? So they should play him at quarterback, but they have this guy named Drew Brees.
Yeah,
so
just that little matter.
He's doing great. I mean, and he took it 7 yards deep in the end zone.
Yeah,
too.
and out. Yeah, I know.
Just so much confidence in that guy. I love it.
I think their kickoff guy was glad that the guy before him got Taysom, because I don't think he wanted to run into Taysom at full speed at midfield.
Yeah, you're right.
Fans, you can use hashtag Satake Show on Twitter and comment on the BYU TV Sports Facebook and Instagram pages for a chance to see your question asked during our Q&A session, which begins, well, right now here in Studio C. We've got live audience and social media questions ready to roll, and we start here in Studio C with Joshua Matson. Hello, Joshua.
How are you? Coach, my question for you is, what do fans do that you think make the BYU experience amazing? And what things would you like to see fans do that would make the experience more amazing?
Oh, I love BYU fans. There's not really anything I'm going to critique them on. They're awesome, you know. So I think the way that they treat, I mean, I keep hearing about how wonderful our fans are to the visiting team, bringing them ice cream and stuff. And maybe something the fans could do is bring me some ice cream. That'd be great in the middle of the game. No, but it's like we have the best fan base, and it's because they're great people, you know, and they love their team. And like I said, at the end of the Wisconsin game, they were all cheering, right? And there's no complaints, and that's what I want to do every week. So if I can do that, I'll be fine. But I'm not worried about them. Just keep raising your kids to be BYU blue. Once they're born, that's the right way to do it.
From social media, at Najto13 says, Coach, what are some things you do specifically to keep a team focused on McNeese after a big win and then a game with Washington on the other end?
Yeah, we're not even talking about any other game but McNeese. That's it. So stay focused on this game, and that's we talked about respecting the game and playing it the right way, and I think in order to do that, you have to really just focus on the team that you're facing right then. And that's all we're worried about right now. And I think McNeese is a dangerous team. It's important for us to be serious about them and stay focused on that. And I think if you talk to our players, they don't really care about who's next. All they care about is McNeese right now, and that's the right way to do it.
Okay, in studio for Easton Crockett at our mic. Hello, Easton.
What's up, Easton?
Hello. What is your favorite video game?
My favorite what?
Video game.
Video game. Whatever my son wants to play. There's this like Skylander. He's been playing that lately, so I do that with him a little bit. He has to do his homework, so I have to help him a little bit so we can play. But yeah, we work kind of late, and as much time as I can spend with my kids, we'll do it. My oldest daughter likes to draw, and she likes theater, and my second daughter loves to dance, and so she critiques my moves all the time. And then my son, we just have fun. He's 8, we have a good time, and play Fortnite once in a while too, you know. I think everything in moderation is a good thing to do, so I teach them to play it and teach them to put it down and do some push-ups and go to bed. So thank you, Easton. What's your favorite video game?
Fortnite.
Fortnite? Yeah, it's so frustrating because people like you kill me.
Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Instagram for Tanner Godfrey, who says, do you have a favorite jersey, or what throwback jersey would you like to bring back? I know you're partial to your own 34, I know that.
Yeah, I love number 34. Yeah, that definitely not the bibs. That's the one I don't like. I just love Royal, and I like Navy too. Anything that has a Y on it, I like. So I like the Sailor Cougar as well. So I like the old the Beat Digger Cougar. You know, the one that's walking on the BYU. There really isn't a shirt or a design that I didn't like.
Do you have an NFL team, by the way?
I do, the Niners, yeah.
Yeah, so
especially now that Fred Warner's there. So.
Yeah, okay. So maybe a Niners throwback then. Back to studio for Brian Thacker. Hello, Brian.
Hi. My question is about the new offensive system that Coach Grimes has been implementing. Do you feel like this is a great system for the athletes that you're able to recruit to BYU? It seems like it is. And have you talked with Coach Grimes about that, recruiting into this system?
Yeah, the one thing that we discussed, and I talked to a lot of different people for the job, and I just like that Grimes cares about the kids the most. And then rather than just trying to force his system onto our players, he wanted to look at our guys and see and evaluate what type of athletes he had. And then we talked about what I would like to see. I mean, whether we're spread or whatever, I just felt like we need to be bigger at O-line anyways. And so that he agreed with that. And being an O-line guy, I thought it was a good transition, you know. So the scheme's going to be, I mean, he's been in a lot of different places. If you think about the people in that room with Steve Clark, Kalani Sitake, Aaron Roderick, you know, and with Jeff Grimes, the guys that have all had coordinating experience. They've been so many different places, Pac-12, SEC, ACC. So he's very flexible. And I felt like that's what our players need. I mean, there's going to be times that we're going to recruit the best athlete out there. And if it happens to be a receiver, then we probably need to throw him the ball a little bit more. The key right now is to sustain drives. We only had 51 plays in this game, you know, so we had drives get stalled because of our mistakes, and then we need to convert more and stay on the field longer and get more first downs in order for us to get more reps. And you can see really what this offense is about. There's so many different parts to it, and I think he's doing a great job using all the athleticism that he has.
Okay, thanks for the question. Thanks for the questions. Wednesdays at 8 Eastern on BYU Radio. Get better acquainted with Cougars past and present on Behind the Mic, a weekly hour of in-depth Cougar conversations. Tomorrow night, it's O-line night for me. I've got Dallas Reynolds and John Tate on the show tomorrow night. Wednesdays, 8 Eastern on BYU Radio. Coming up next, this week's player guest, Sione Taki Taki. This is BYU Football with Kalani Satake.
I volunteer at Primary Children's Hospital because I care about helping families with sick kids.
I volunteer at the 512 Foundation because I care about our kids and community.
And I volunteer because I care about Utah's future engineers.
Do you know someone who cares about making our community better? I Am Flash will recognize your unsung hero and donate $1,000 to their favorite local charity. IamFlash.com/hero.
I care about making the world a happier place.
In the timeline of life, you make choices every day, like buying your first car, what a beaut, or serving your mission. You come home and hop right into college. And then that magic day comes, marriage. Getting married is incredible and pricey. But you know what? Children are even pricier. Your family grows and you need that first home. No matter where you are in the timeline of life, Deseret First Credit Union is right there with you. DFCU, your values, your timeline, your financial future.
Okay, everyone, gather around.
After 4 years of hard work, we are so excited to finally release this to the world.
Secret. It's important, but I think I can trust you.
It will either be super fun or the worst thing ever.
Is it real?
It's hard to say. It's 50-50. It's definitely not the middle.
You're in love with someone else?
Yes.
Yes.
No!
Girl, you know it.
Please, no.
No? Are you okay?
How dare you ask that? I think it's safe to assume that James is dead.
This is getting weirdly personal.
The rest of the cast of Studio C.
Very impressive.
Surprisingly impressive.
Excellent.
Really?
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 It's insane.
Absolutely brilliant.
This is why I love you.
And I love you.
Oh, is that how you say it?
Yes. Oh, that feels good to say.
What is that?
What in the blooming beast of burden was that?
I did it.
Don't miss Studio C, Mondays at 7 Mountain on BYU TV.
Four-man rush. Hornibrook flushed to his left. The pursuit coming. Gets tripped up. Almost threw an interception right into the arms of Taki Taki.
Welcome back to BYU Football with Kalani Sitake, presented by Intermountain Healthcare. This past Saturday in Madison, Wisconsin, he led BYU in solo tackles, total tackles, and tackles for loss, including a credit for sack on that intentional grounding right there. He has shifted from defensive line to linebacker, but what hasn't changed is his ability to make a big play. Please welcome in tonight's first special guest, Taki Taki.
Dressed up, too.
No, just my school clothes.
You got to change after practice.
Yeah, just a little bit. They were like, we're going to be here in 15 minutes, so get dressed. And I'm like, all right, quick shower. Kind of threw on what I wore to school.
Very presentable. Yeah. How is school going, by the way?
It's going good. You know, classes are fine, and my professors are really good teachers. I really like them, and so everything's great.
What'd you choose for your major?
Sociology.
Yeah, and you're getting close to being done, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I'm getting close. I should graduate in April. So.
Okay. You list your hometown as Fontana, California, and a big family, yes?
Yeah. Youngest of 7, and grew up in Rialto, California. It's a city over from Fontana. So, yeah.
Where are your siblings spread around? All over the place?
Yeah. So I have 2 siblings. They live kind of in Salt Lake, and then most of my siblings back in California, kind of spread all over.
Okay. What led you to BYU?
Mostly my mom, my mother. Yeah, she's a strong LDS lady, and kind of gave her a hard time in high school and growing up. So she's like, if you could do anything for me, go to BYU. And I'm like, all right. I wanted to go somewhere else, and but I'm happy I chose BYU. It's just a phenomenal place.
Kalani, you know his mom a little bit, and can you get what he's saying when you hear a player say, "Mom wanted me to come"?
Of course, it's why a lot of why I came to BYU. And I keep saying it to all the recruits that I'll take kids that listen to their parents, and if their parents want them to go to BYU, they should. It's probably not the only time they should listen to their parents. So I'm living proof that if you listen to your parents, that good things can happen to you. And Sione is the same way. He's a good, obedient son, so it works out.
Your wife, Alyssa, is here with us, yes?
She is, yeah. She's right there in the
front row. Alyssa, good to have you. Thanks for coming, yeah. You give her a lot of credit for you being where you are right now.
I do, yeah, I do. She's an amazing woman.
How would you describe your journy that you've had here at BYU?
Oh, how would I describe my journey here at BYU? Man, I would say a lot of bumps, but I'm happy I got through it. It's better for me as a person, as a husband, a future father to my kids, and so yeah, I'm just grateful for BYU and everything it's done for me.
Your wife's a bit of an athlete.
She is, yeah. So yeah, the kids will get all her genes for sure.
Switching back to linebacker, we talked about it in the intro a little bit. From D-line to linebacker, of course, the position you played, there are probably more similarities than differences from where you were. How do you think you've handled the transition, and were you excited when they said we're going to make you a true outside linebacker?
Yeah, playing DN was fun last year, and then coming off the season, they were like, hey, we think you'll fit better at linebacker. And I was all for it, linebacker with the switch, but I need to work on a lot of things, You need to work on stuff every day, and so I feel like I'm doing okay, but I could do better. And so working with Coach Lamb, Coach Tuiaki, and Coach Satake, coaching me up every day and just getting better film room and on the field.
I gave fans your Wisconsin numbers a moment ago. Let's take a look at a little bit of your game in Madison. And by the way, just how about an atmosphere, right, for football?
Yeah.
Here at Camp Randall?
It's a great atmosphere. I'm happy I got to play there.
Seen some of your better plays of the day. Double-digit tackles, a couple TFLs, and then take us through this one.
Yeah, no, I was kind of pursuing him. I thought he was going to go down, so I'm running up. And then he throws the ball right down to my chest, and I missed the ball. I just totally flopped. So I'm like, wow, that could have been one to the house.
It could have been one to the house, but the most important thing was the end result. You've been a part of a lot of games at BYU already. You've been around for a long time. Where does Wisconsin, for the moment, kind of reside with you in terms of a special moment?
Yeah, I would say stadium-wise, I just remember I'd say second, Drake second. First is when I was a freshman. I came in as a freshman. I got to travel, and that's when Taysom Hill was playing. We were playing Texas, and we traveled. And so seeing Taysom go out there and jumping over people, running touchdowns, I was just a young kid coming in, and I'm just amazed. I'd walk past his locker like, "Hey, Taysom," he'd be like, "Hey, what's up, Zion?" And I'd be like, I was just a fan, and then I'm his teammate, so it was pretty awesome.
Now we want to make sure that we do what Kalani says and not spend too much time on what's past. So let's look ahead. You're already into McNeese prep right now. Your early thoughts on the Cowboys?
I think they're a good team. You know, obviously they're from the FCS, but they can play some ball. You know, you don't want to take any team lightly, and especially these guys. They're coming. They're well prepared, and they're going to come play their best ball. And so, going into McNeese State, we're gonna treat them like any other team, like they're at Wisconsin. And so today we prepared as hard as we can with practice, running to the ball, little things, working on technique. Coach was coaching me up at linebacker spots, just little things, looking at routes and just getting my footwork better. And so yeah, we're gonna attack this week just like if we were playing the #1 seed team. So.
Kalani, what kind of practice player is Sione?
Oh, he has a great motor, and he's soft-spoken, but he talks loud when he's on the field. You know, he's really in a great environment for him where he can succeed, and he's an alpha male, so he gets out there and gets after people, and he's physical, but I've been really proud of how his leadership's shown up, and he's voted as a captain by his peers, by his players, you know, the team, and he's come a long way, and been really excited to be around him and seeing the growth that he's made, and he's got so much potential as a football player and the things that he can do, and I mean, he's got definite future in football, but I'm really excited about his future and his potential as a person, you know, and a lot of that is the people that he surrounds himself with, and his wife and others, and I've just been really impressed with him, so really excited to see that. He's gonna be, I can't wait to see him as a father someday, you know, but yeah, I've been really proud of him as a person more than anything, and the football part, that's already a given.
Before the break, real quick, jersey number 16, how'd you end up with that?
So yeah, I was, so right after freshman year in high school, kind of sophomore year, going into my sophomore year in high school, you know, kind of moved up to varsity, and then I was like one of the last to pick a jersey, and I was so bummed because I wanted #2. I'm like, man, I've always been #2. But my coach was like, nah, you're going to go last. You're a sophomore. Everybody else is going to choose before you. And so I was like, what's the number that's closest to 1? And it was 16. So I'm like, all right, I'll take it. And it kind of just stuck till then. I never complained ever again.
Right on. Fans, you can check out the BYU women's soccer team this Friday night, 9 Eastern against Utah Valley on BYU TV, BYU Radio, and their apps as well. Looking for an even more convenient way to shop at Smith's? You should try Smith's Click List. Order online and pick up curbside at the store. Visit smithsfoodanddrug.com for details. After the break, running backs coach A.J. Stewart is joining us all. This is BYU Football with Kalani Sitake.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, sweetie.
Check this out. Chicken wings. I love you.
Have a car wreck? Martin's Collision Repair.
The right repair, the right paint, the right choice. Martin's Collision Repair.
We're changing how you receive health care, to give you more choices, to be more personal, like seeing a doctor from your hotel room rather than a patient room, or seeing your primary care physician when you normally couldn't. It's putting you first and also putting you more in control. It's care how, where, and when you want it. Intermountain Healthcare. Visit healingforlife.com.
This September, see the good in the world with exciting shows on BYU TV. Get ready to laugh because Studio C is on every Monday at 7 Mountain with all your favorite characters and hilarious antics. Come along with Todd Hansen as he discovers all new stories on all new episodes of The Story Trek, Tuesdays at 8 Mountain. It's a new season of Relative Race with more puzzles, relatives, and surprises along the way. Sundays at 7 Mountain. There's something for everyone here on BYU TV.
Some say if you're looking for the soul of America, you'll find it right here in Memphis, Tennessee. But if Memphis is the soul of America, then what's the soul of Memphis? From the banks of the Mississippi to the neon lights of Beale Street, that soul's hiding somewhere, and I've got to put it all in one painting. Join me as we paint the town of Memphis, Tennessee.
Don't miss Painting the Town tonight at 8:30 Mountain on BYU TV.
BYU Football with Kalani Sitake is brought to you by Intermountain Healthcare, healing for life.
Welcome back to BYU Football with Kalani Satake. Use the hashtag Satake Show on Twitter and comment on the BYU TV Sports Facebook and Instagram pages for a chance to see your question asked during our Q&A sessions for tonight's guests, and that's coming up in a bit. Time to meet tonight's second guest, and he is a former quarterback, wideout, and tight end in the Big 12 at Kansas, a former running backs coach down in Houston at Rice, and now he's at home in Provo as the position coach for Squally Canada and his mates in the BYU backfield. Please welcome in the new Cougars' new running backs coach, A.J. Stewart. AJ, good to see you. How are you? Good to have you. Slide down one. Yep. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
How was practice?
It was great. Really good practice, especially for a Tuesday. It was clean, and guys were out there with a lot of energy, so it was good.
We had Squally on a couple of weeks ago, and he said that he and the other running backs were staying late. That's why he was a little bit late. And how often is it you keep the guys after to get as much work done as possible?
We always try to work on something extra every day, usually from something we struggle with a little bit during practice. And I usually kind of let him take the lead in that and grab the guys and lead the drill on his own. I think it's good to promote leadership, and I think he really likes he takes pride in that opportunity to be able to kind of put his arm around the younger guys and show them the ropes, with this being his last year.
Describe for audience and listeners and viewers your origins and what ultimately got you to Provo, Utah.
Well, it's a long story, but grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. Played football at University of Kansas. Yeah, see pictures there. Played at Riverview Gardens High School. Went on to University of Kansas, where I went as a quarterback. Ended up playing tight end, and didn't play a whole lot there. Not enough to even Google me probably, but had a good time there. We won a lot of games, and really it was the perfect setup for me to become a coach. I was around a lot of good coaches and good players during my time there at Kansas, and that led to me going to Rice. One of the coaches that were on that staff at Kansas gave me the opportunity to be a graduate assistant at Rice University with the running backs. He ended up leaving to go back to Kansas to be the OC there, and they promoted me as a running backs coach at Rice. I was there 6 years, and then Coach Satake gave me this great opportunity to be here at BYU.
Kalani, how did your connection with AJ come about?
Well, I played high school ball in St. Louis, Missouri, so we're from the Lou, but no, he had a great reputation as a young coach, and Coach Grimes and myself and everyone just, as we got to know him a little bit more, he fit perfectly with BYU, and just the demand, but also the way he teaches, but the way he loves his guys. They all. I think they all respect him a lot, but more than anything, they know he cares. And so when they know you care, you can teach them. And that's what he's a great coach, and he's going to have a great future. And we just hope he's here for a long time. He's going to have his first baby in Provo, so, right. Provo's always going to be home for him in Virginia. And we're just happy to have him here with us.
And we know he's going to have a baby boy because of this. Yeah. This is Coach Stewart on social media with a unique way to announce the impending arrival. So that's
yeah, he's committed. He didn't have a choice. We don't know a position, but he has a scholarship.
Okay, now you're clearly a football guy, right?
Yes.
But you've had some basketball in your past as well, right? Is it like your second favorite sport?
Second favorite sport for sure. I like baseball too, but basketball is just.
Here you are.
As you
see, in Harlem.
Yeah, and you get to go to Harlem one time and play basketball. I didn't know it was going to be 12-year-olds that we were going against. You have to respect your opponent, right? So,
Fantastic. By the way, quickly, Sione, what can you tell about this guy from the other side of the ball, Coach Stewart?
Man, he brings that energy every day, and he's always lets us know like his guys is ready. And he's always expecting the best from his guys, so he's always lining us up against him. And linebackers actually go against running backs all the time, every day. And so I see him a lot, and he brings that energy every day. Every time he walks by before he goes out practice, hey, Sione, you ready? I'm like, yeah.
Of course, one of your guys had a great day Saturday in Madison, Squally, Canada. It won't be too often that somebody outrushes Jonathan Taylor in a game. Yeah. But there, by the end of the day, JT 23 had 117 yards, and Squally had 118, including 2 real big runs. And this one kind of got you guys settled in early.
For sure. I thought he did a really good job just taking the game plan, taking the coaching throughout the week and going out there and executing in the game. He didn't play a perfect game by any stretch, but he's a competitor, and you can rely on that guy on Saturdays. And I think we all got a glimpse of what we're gonna come to expect from him moving forward as he continues to develop and continues to work to master his game.
Okay. We'll have Q&A for AJ and Sione coming up in our next segment. As we head to break, though, I want you to know that Coordinator's Corner comes up Mondays at 1 o'clock Eastern, 11 a.m. as we talk with Coordinators Grimes and Tuiaki and Lamb. So tune in for that on BYU Radio and BYU TV. After the break, your questions and their answers. Sione and AJ here from Cougar Nation next as BYU Football Kalani Sitake continues.
Tim Daly Ford in Spanish Fork sells Ford vehicles including the F-150. The pickup designed for work and play. Tim Daly Ford maintains a large inventory, providing more choices for selecting an F-150 with the power and engineering to carry and tow heavy loads. The F-150's design offers comfort, safety, and a range of options to choose from. Think Ford. Think Tim Daly Ford in Spanish Fork.
If I got hurt and was laid up at home, I wouldn't even think to call a lawyer. What a hassle. I'd want to meet them first.
What if I told you that for your first consultation, your lawyer will come to you, home or hospital?
Really?
Really.
They do that?
If you've been seriously injured, we'll come to you. It's your job to get better. It's our job to deal with the insurance companies and protect your legal rights.
Learn more at siegfriedandjensen.com.
Want to see the good? Then tune in to BYU TV. Tonight at 8 Mountain, journey along with Todd Hansen, finding fantastic stories from unique individuals. Then, if you missed it this past Sunday, the new season kickoff of Relative Race is back again. Don't miss all new contestants, puzzles, and relatives tomorrow at 6 Mountain. Watch your favorite BYU TV shows here and catch up anytime on BYUTV.org or the BYU TV app.
Blue runs deep on BYU TV. Don't miss the BYU UVU women's soccer game. Friday at 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain. Watch all of your favorite BYU teams on BYU TV, your home for Cougar sports.
I ain't got no chip.
The BYU TV Sports Countdown to Kickoff. BYU versus McNeese State, 5 Eastern, 3 Mountain, Saturday on BYU TV.
Make me look good.
Welcome back to BYU Football with Kalani Satake, presented by Intermountain Healthcare. Time to turn linebacker Sione Taki Taki and running backs coach AJ Stewart over to Cougar Nation for a little bit. We start here in the live audience. Q&A time. Brandon Harlebrook is at the mic. Hey.
Thanks, Greg. Coach Stewart, this question for you. What's the main focus when you're working with the running backs? Does it change from week to week? What are you really striving to have them do?
I think, well, we started off with the foundational things that we wanted to be really great at, and it's just the disciplines of being a running back, protect the football, knowing your assignments, having good reads in the run game, and being able to block. And so once you do those things week to week, you'll see things that you need to continue to get better on. You know, last game I thought we could get a little bit better this upcoming week on our pass pro. So that's something we're really making an emphasis on. A couple weeks ago was our tracks in the run game. So it goes from week to week, and we're always challenging ourselves to perfect our craft, and we want it to ultimately look like clinic tape anytime we're out there on the field.
Brandon, thank you. Appreciate it. From social media for Sione, at GHansen25 asks, how do you celebrate after a big win like you had in Wisconsin?
Man, I usually just go out to get some ice cream with my wife. You know, after a game, you're kind of tired. You kind of don't really want to do anything. So get some ice cream, probably go home, watch a movie, cuddle up, and that's about it.
Pretty chilled out then. All right. Thank you both for coming in after practice. Appreciate it. All right, we'll come back and wrap up tonight's show. This is BYU Football with Kalani Sitake. You can break down Cougar football with Dave McCann, Blaine Fowler, Brian Logan, and David Nixon each week on After Further Review, Tuesdays, 7 Eastern on BYU TV and the app. We are back after this with more BYU Football with Kalani Sitake.
Are you looking for a better way to deliver results this year? Expanding your product line or building new locations? How about your online presence? Does it need a boost? Maybe you just want to put a little more distance between you and the competition. Tap into the powerful engine of BYU Athletics and let us put together a plan unique to your business. We can provide you with the tools designed to enhance your brand on a local, regional, or national level. We invite your team to join ours. For details, email sponsorship@byu.edu today.
Defending in Splat a lot, we have some fabulous people. First off, Stacy's best friend from high school, who also plays the tuba and the flute.
Gildar?
Yeah, definitely.
And up next we have Tori's secret admirer bird crush.
Kookaburra!
Yes!
And also a smile that could crush a Navy.
Nitrous. And we have a little something that we found between Tori's toes.
Pink core.
Yes!
Splat-a-lot, Mondays at 6:30 Mountain, followed by Studio C on BYU TV.
On the season finale of The Story Trek, I'm back in the Gem State.
I can't even explain how hard this year and a half has been.
3 years ago, I met a remarkable woman battling a potentially fatal disease.
I lose my hands for a minute.
And because Ashley had the courage to share her story. Perfect! Good job. Plus, a potato points me to longtime friends who refuse to act their age.
As long as you're able to move and keep moving, then life will treat you well.
Watch The Story Trek tonight at 8 Mountain on BYU TV.
Some say if you're looking for the soul of America, you'll find it right here in Memphis, Tennessee. But if Memphis is the soul of America, then what's the soul of Memphis? From the banks of the Mississippi to the neon lights of Beale Street, that soul's hiding somewhere, and I've got to put it all in one painting.
Join me as we paint the town of Memphis, Tennessee.
Don't miss Painting the Town tonight at 8:30 Mountain on BYU TV.
I love Ahifo, Jr., wide receiver, favorite movie, any Marvel comic, favorite non-BYU sports team, 49ers, bucket list place to go. Cabo, favorite music group or artist, probably Miguel. Favorite food, anything Mexican. And would you rather sing or dance? I'd rather dance, definitely. Beach or mountain? Definitely beach. Favorite TV show, Vampire Diaries. Favorite non-football hobby, probably just video games. Favorite athlete, Tyrann Mathieu. Biggest fear, roller coasters. Favorite superhero, Black Panther, Michael LeBron James. Favorite coach, probably my dad.
I love it. All right, game day. We've got you covered on BYU TV and BYU Radio. For the Cougars and McNeese, pregame on the radio begins at 4 Eastern. Countdown to kickoff on BYU TV begins at 3 Eastern. Watch and listen at 6 Eastern with post-game coverage right after the game on both BYU TV and BYU Radio. Welcome back to BYU Football with Kalani Sitake, presented in part by Smith's. Low prices, market fresh at Smith's. Kalani, in talking to a lot of folks, kind of final comments here, a lot of folks after the Wisconsin game, they kind of felt like what happened against Cal kind of sowed the seeds for what good happened in Madison. And then some people said, you know, it was a good lesson learned. And who knows if you're 3-0 either way. But the bottom line is you got to 2-1 after being 1-1. And just getting to 2-1 says a lot about you guys. And so maybe something you were able to learn from?
Yeah, I like the response from the tough loss to Cal, and knowing that we could have done better, and responding by winning and preparing and playing better against Wisconsin and getting that win. But then now it's important for us to get another response for this week, you know. So we really can't let down at our guard at any moment, and I think that's what our guys are focused on trying to get done this week. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what we can do this weekend.
Okay, it's the first day of fall, so it's finally fall football. Good luck this Saturday. All right.
It'll be fun. By the way, what made the game the best was you calling the game.
Oh.
That's my favorite memory, is Greg Wrubell doing the game and calling it. If you guys haven't heard it, just go listen to it. It makes it perfect. So I don't know if you planned it out right, but it was perfect. Get the next
You're
one
very
ready.
kind. You're very kind. Thank you, Kalani. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next Tuesday at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain. Forcione Taki Taki and AJ Stewart and the coach Kalani Sitake. I'm Greg Wrubell. This is the BYU Football Kalani Satake. See ya.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel, someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun's gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Hi, I'm Emily Starr.
And I'm Lisa Valentine.